Good morning, Colonel Bai. Today's Friday, November 10th, and it's a day 3.
I'm Bray.
And I'm Kushal, and here are your morning announcements.
All students who have signed up to write the CSMC and CIMC math contests need to come to the cafeteria on Wednesday morning, November 15th at 9:10.
Attention graduates, Edge Imaging will be here from November 14th to November 18th. Sign up for your photo appointment using our school code CLB at bookmygrad.ca.
Students interested in performing on stage and or participating backstage for this year's musical should attend the info meeting on Monday, November 13th at noon in the drama room.
Oh, Bray, you seem really instrumentally in tune. You should join this year's Pit Orchestra for the year's musical, Seussical the Musical. All information regarding the Pit Orchestra has been posted outside the music room, including the instruments that are needed, and a QR code that will take you to the audition music online. Auditions are on November 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, so start preparing, and all are welcome to this audition. If you have any other questions, please see Mr. Nurse.
The Sexuality and Gender Alliance Saga Club is hosting an arts and crafts activity today in room 131 at lunch. The crafts will focus on raising awareness about the LGBTQ+ community. Feel free to bring scissors, paper, and any other materials that you would like to use. Everyone is welcome.
A reminder to all Muslim students that afternoon prayers are held in room 213 at 12 p.m.
There will be an interest meeting for Nordic skiing on Wednesday, November 15th at lunch in room 150.
Friday Show got the chance to speak to a member of the Canadian Armed Forces. Please give us all of your attention, CB, during this important piece.
My name is Master Warrant Officer John Curran, and I'm a member of the Canadian Armed Forces. Specifically, I'm in the Canadian Army, and my trade is a military police officer. Within that trade, I have responsibilities that range from conducting investigations through to security of Canadian Forces establishments or D&D establishments. So I want to elaborate on that, and soldier is a very generic term that we use in Canada, but we also need to remember that that includes sailors and aviators as well. So soldier being the Army, sailors in the Navy, and aviators in the Air Force. As a soldier, Remembrance Day means to me that we have to reflect on the veterans before us that have paved the way and that have provided us with the freedom and democracy that we're privileged to enjoy today. So I've had the honor of being in the Canadian Armed Forces for 32 years now. I've seen it ebb and flow over the last 32 years. We've had increases in Remembrance Day recognition and participation through the Afghanistan conflict era. But prior to that, when it was post-Cold War, there wasn't so much of an interest in Remembrance Day. So we've seen it come and go over the years, and I'm sure that it'll continue to come and go depending on the view that the public has on the Canadian Armed Forces. So when we're deployed, deployments can range from combat tours to supporting other government agencies to working with other countries globally. So sometimes our reflection or commemoration of Remembrance Day will be experienced with other nations, and sometimes it'll be solely on our own as Canadians. But we make sure that no matter where we are around the world, and no matter what the situation is, we take the time on the 11th of November at 11 o'clock to reflect on Remembrance Day. And that can range from a moment of silence all the way through to a parade with hundreds, if not thousands, of soldiers on parade. I believe it's important for students to understand the significance, because you reap the rewards of the freedom and the democracy and the privileges that we have here in Canada, partially as a result of what the Canadian Armed Forces does to provide that to Canadian citizens. And the students at the school here are all Canadian citizens, and they get to experience that. It makes you a better Canadian to understand what Remembrance Day is about, what feeds into Remembrance Day, and how you can actively be involved in Remembrance Day as we are here today. I think it's important that Canadians understand that this is your Canadian Armed Forces. The men and women who serve in the Canadian Armed Forces are members of your armed forces. So as Canadians, you should have an expectation of what you want from the Canadian Armed Forces. And because of that, it's important to reflect on the things that Canadian Armed Forces members have done and will do in the future to support Canada from coast to coast to coast.